How you doing, people? Robert here, aka Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. There's 2 points I want to cover today because people are obviously not paying attention. People are taking their eye off the ball and people have just not got a clue, right? So what I'm going to do is cover petitions and protests and the implications of what's happening and why it's not happening. Okay, so let's start with petitions. Petitions are a legal document to make a complaint and a begging certificate to beg, right? So people put their names on a petition. You get millions of names on a petition. A previous one was for Starmer to step down. Then we had one now for digital ID that's nearly at 3 million. It might be more than that now. And other petitions before that. Now, what is the problem with petitions? Petitions, you are begging. Plus the fact you are asking the people that you have the dispute with to have a debate. On the most recent one, with the digital ID, it was a clear knockback and no, right? This is the problem. People still don't get. These men and women in the Westminster Parliament, Scottish Parliament, Irish Parliament, Welsh Parliament, and any other parliament through the world, right? So we'll just use the word parliament, right? Don't have any power over the people. But people are indoctrinated to think they have to ask permission for men and women representing corporations that are not sovereign because they're in the world of commerce, civil law, right? Contract law, and they're duty bound by the contracts. But people don't have contracts. We've been deceived to fill in their paperwork and listen to their bullshit with their fancy legalese words like mandatory, required, a load of nonsense. Now, why are you asking permission, people? Why are you begging to these tyrants? And that's what they are, tyrants. You will never get where you want to be with their legal paperwork, right? Because you're treated, as I told you in the previous video, persons, corporations and citizens and subjects of the crown. That's what you are. You're not classed as men and women, right? Because these tyrants representing corporations cannot deal with men and women. That's why there is 2 systems running parallel, legal and lawful. That's why that is, right? You're dead in the legal world and you're alive in the lawful world. Okay. Now, protests, gatherings. What is the problem with that? Okay, now, something came to my attention. There's a thing happening in Edinburgh. I think it's the 1st of November this year. There's supposed to be Tommy Robertson at his antics again on the 27th of October. With all these people marching along roads, making noise and getting themselves into trouble. Because obviously there is always troublemakers in these crowds. Now, people, I've already done protests, walking in streets. I've done gatherings. That's why I've not been back on the street, apart from other issues, right? It does not work. You're talking to the people on the street and you're causing controversy. Plus the fact that idiots, tyrants, politicians, MSPs, MPs, councillors are sitting laughing at you because while you're doing that, they're passing all these fake Mickey Mouse rules, regulations and policies, statutes and acts and dictating what they're going to do with your life, the man or woman's life. But you being a citizen, a person, a corporation or a subject to the crown, you have to accept that because you don't know any better. You still don't get and know your standing of what and who you are. That's the problem. And until people get where their standing is and who and what they are, there's going to be never change, right? And that's a fact. Now, protests has to stop. You have to direct your energy to the people that's causing the problems. What have you achieved with these gatherings, these protests and these marches? Nothing. Nothing has changed. You've not stopped the deprivation and poverty. You've not stopped the child abuse, rape, murder, right? You've not stopped the food banks. You've not stopped the digital ID as of yet because it's still in the process. But if you don't get your finger out your arse, it's not going to stop. Okay, and then you get all the psycho-conditioned dummies that believe, liars known as governments, politicians, accepting their terms and conditions of this legal system, legal society that's not lawful. Okay, that's why they use the word legal, lawful, rule, law, manipulation under the language legalese. You have to focus on dealing with the men and women that's causing the problems direct. Put them on notice. Tell them that they don't have any authority. It's a presumption. They don't have any jurisdiction. And you're no their property. You're not a modern day slave. And no man or woman in a legal system, legal society can enforce their will on another. Right? And that's a fact. It's all an illusion of democracy, people. There is no democracy. And as long as people keep registering to vote and voting, you'll never get change. And that includes with Nigel Farage. He's on a presumption in 4 years' time that he's going to be Prime Minister. A lot of things can happen before that. And I've picked up on a few things like he's wanting to put charges in medical care, he's wanting to cut benefits, just two simple things. He's the same as the rest, a private corporation, registered in Dun & Bradstreet, trading for profit. He's another paid liar, people. As I said in previous videos, I had a bit of faith in him at the start, but I'm now starting to see his true colours, the same as the rest of them. They'll tell you what they want to hear, they'll predict a fake manifesto. As I keep saying, manifesto isn't lawfully binding, it's a promise to do something, and promises are broke all the time, as you've seen over the years in the elections, the fake elections, right? Politics and the poly-lies, fraud and deception against the sovereign people, the men and women, the landmass England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, right? That's a fact. Now, the implications of petitions. Petitions, you get nowhere because you're begging. It's not going to happen. How many times, that's the question I've got to ask the people, how many times have you got to be slapped down with these people before you realise it's not working? It's right in your face, it's showing you it's not working. It's a prediction that if you get 100,000 plus signatures on this so-called legal fiction petition document, they're supposed to have a debate. You're not even getting a debate. You're getting shut down as soon as they get it. They're not interested. And that's because you are a citizen, person, corporation, subject of the crown. You have no rights, and in the legal system, you're classed as dead. Right? You're dead. You don't exist. They don't need to listen to you. That's why they're not listening. Because they think they're above the people, because they're treating you as persons. But you don't get that. They're treating you as entities. You don't get that either. That's the problem, people. Again, it all comes down to standing. Know who and what you are. Know who and what you're presumed to be. Right? And as I keep telling you, if you don't fight for your rights, you're not going to have any rights. Right? Or freedoms. And that's a fact. And this is getting proven as well. These are doing what these are doing and getting nowhere. Now, what's the downfall of protests? Protests, marching along the street, shouting and making a lot of noise, getting involved with the police, wanting to fight with the police. And I'm not talking about everybody, I'm just talking about troublemakers that just out there for a bit of boxing. That's it. What does that achieve? Nothing. Again, you are being laughed at with this system because you're just a distraction. You're being distracted away from the issues. Right? Now, all these protests and stuff that, example, Tommy Robertson's done, what has he achieved? Nothing. And he'll achieve nothing. Right? Because that isn't the way to deal with us. There's only one way to deal with us, is shut the country down, people. That's it. Stop paying your bills, just hold the money or whatever. Stop paying your bills. Right? Because until you do something drastic in reality, then your reality is not going to work and change is not going to happen. Plus the fact in protests, what happens when you interact with the police and it gets aggressive? People get arrested, flung to the ground and assaulted with truncheons and battered, right? And sometimes, as you know previously, people have been getting years in jail with Tom and Jerry, Mickey Mouse judges on the instruction of the tyrant Kier Starmer, right? You'll never beat a corrupt legal system that's complicit in a major fraud and crimes against the people. That's a fact. You will never beat the system. You have to take the system down. That's the only way, people. And as I keep saying in the last few videos a way back, one people government, a people government, a one people government, where we eradicate all politicians right through the landmass of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, and get a government of people where the people have control and say in the running of their lands and their lives and their services, right? That's the only way. Then you can end the food banks. Then you can end the deprivation and poverty. Then you can clamp down on unlawful, illegal immigration coming into this country illegally and get benefits and basically kept for nothing while other people are struggling, can't get hospital appointments, dental appointments, cancer services, doctor appointments, etc., etc. I don't need to tell you, you already see this, people, but I don't know what your mindset is. Your mindset is wrong, and that has to change, and change fast, right? Because we're running out of time with these tyrants. Remember, this is all down to the WEF, WHO, and United Nations. That's the three problems, right? Corporations try to control people's lives, try to control their lands, try to take away the sovereignty of those lands, and it has to stop. People, please wake up, smell the coffee. Petitions don't work, so stop filling forms out. Protesting, gatherings and marches don't work, and it's been proven. I've been out there and done it, seen it. Bought the t-shirt and wrote the book. It does not work. Okay, it might be a good day for everybody to catch up with each other, but at the end of the day, that's all it is. You're achieving nothing, waving flags, shouting nonsense, right? You have to attack the system, and I don't mean with violence. You have to attack the people and bring them down. You have to challenge them. These are only people in privileged jobs, people. The people create the government by registering to vote and voting as citizens, persons, entities, or subjects of the crown, right? The creation can be never greater than the creator, and that's a fact. And the sooner you realise that, the better. Now I'm going to cover another couple of issues, right? Somebody sent me a video of a woman in a store. I don't know what store it was. She bought or purchased messages, food or whatever, and she was pulled up and told to show her receipt. Right? People are still accepting nonsense they don't have to accept, right? The mere fact that you have a receipt for what you've bought, you don't have to show nothing. You've got the receipt, that's your proof of purchase and payment, right? That's your receipt, that's you're done. For them to ask you for your receipt, they're acting overreach, right? Now, and the reason being, plus the fact, if they stop you, if you're leaving the store or the shop, whatever, they're acting unlawful, right? And overreach is unlawful. They're going above their scope of authority. Unless these people in this store, shop or whatever suspect you of shoplifting and they have evidence to that effect, they have no lawful right to stop you and ask you for a receipt. All you have to do is show them the receipt and tell them that you want to leave. But the easiest way to stop this nonsense with this is do not get into the shops with the face recognition, scanning your receipts. Then you don't have anything to worry about. There's plenty of shops out there wanting your business. Once you stop getting in there, buying services and spending money or on your card, and you lose business, they'll not be long in changing their ways, right? Remember, this is not laws, it's all rules from corporations, right? Corporations cannot make rules, only rules, regulations and policy, that's all they can create, right? And for a crime to exist, as I keep telling you, there's got to be a corpus delicti. A man, woman, person, fiction, known as party or victim. If there's none of those, then there is no crime, right? And that's a fact. When people ask you for your receipt, show them the receipt and don't get involved in a conversation with them. Tell them you want to leave. Or the other option is say, well, go to the checkout, there's a receipt, I want a refund. Leave, go buy your shopping somewhere else, right? Play hardball with these people. You don't have to accept this nonsense that these people are imposing on you people. They're only workers, right? They're no police, courts or judges or lawyers, right? They're only workers enforcing policy. Policy is not a law, it's a rule. You have to define the difference between a rule, policy and a law, right? Unless they prove that you have been shoplifting and that's the grounds why they're stopping asking your receipt to check your messages, you don't have to show them your messages and you don't have to speak to them, right? You've done nothing wrong. So why are you interacting with these people and causing hassle for yourself by interacting, right? They're just inconveniencing you and holding you back if you're leaving the store. Honest to God, people, get a grip. Change your mentality of thinking. Know who and what you are. Know who you're presumed to be. You're being treated everywhere in this system that you go as a person. Everything states person, no matter what rule, statute, act, it's all person, right? No man or woman, because you can't deal with a man or woman, right? Men and women have inalienable and inherent rights, and the laws inherent within no right from wrong. Do not commit harm, loss or injury. That's the principles of law, right? If you've done none of those, you've nothing to worry about. Anyway, people, stop the protesting. Stop the petitioning and the beg. It doesn't work. And it's in your face, and you know it doesn't work. But you still keep doing the same repetitive thing and get nowhere. And it doesn't make sense when you should be directing your energy to the men and women hiding behind the persona, corporate mass, government, entity, corporate names that they hide behind, right? That's what you've got to do. You've got to rip the mask off them, remove the persona that they're hiding behind to escape liability. It's men and women that's causing the problems, not the entities known as government or the fictitious offices. Justice Minister, Health Minister, First Minister, Prime Minister. Do you get it yet? If you don't, there's no hope for you. And again, people, anything I tell you here, I'll verify under a charge of perjury. Any court jurisdiction, the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales or beyond, and there's no doubt there, again, that I see will make that claim. And the only reason I can make that claim is because I can back up what I say and what I do to the halt. I don't need to explain myself to anybody because I know what I do, and what I do is right and lawful, right? I don't trespass on anybody's life, but people and corporations try to trespass on my life. But when they do that, I come back, put me in a corner, I'll come out fighting. Okay, people? And that's the attitude you've got to have, right? ABC rule. Accept nothing from tyrants in a legal system, legal society. They're all paid liars. Believe nothing, especially for politicians or the media, in a legal system, legal society. They're all paid liars and challenge everything, no matter how big or how small and what they think the authority is, right? Challenge everything, including the authority that they think they are presumed to have over you, the man or woman, right? Anyway, please share this information far and wide. And again, I'd like to take time to thank the people that watch the video. And I'd like to thank the people for giving me time to be heard on the video. And a special thanks to the people that share the video. It's important that this information gets out there, people. And as I say time and time again, previous videos, I don't ask you for money, fund me, PayPals, gifts, right? So again, listen to what I'm telling you. Especially if I can verify under a charge of perjury when I state it. That's a big claim to make. What have you, the people, got to lose by listening to that information and putting that into practice? Common sense will prevail. But right now, common sense doesn't prevail. Especially when people are shouting about something happening in Edinburgh on the 1st of November 2025. Why wait that time? The problem's now, no 2 months down the line. Why wait till the 27th of November? The 27th of October, sorry, with Tommy Roberts and the rest of this protest. Why wait all this time? It should be done more regular, but no protests and petitions. You should be directing again their energy to the people that's causing the problems. Remember, they're only men and women hiding behind the persona, people. That's all I'll say. Anyway, Again, please share this information far and wide. And thank you for watching this video and taking time to watch this video. You people have a good day. I'll speak soon. More videos to come. Take care. Be safe. Bye bye.